Miss Hanson is quitting her job at the end of the school year. She only taught 4th grade for 3 years, but she's already had enough. She had enough of those clueless administrators who never set foot inside the classroom telling her how to do her job. She had enough of her brainless, irresponsible, and self-righteous parents refusing to punish her spawn even when they hit their teachers or trash the classrooms. Most of all, she's had enough of the violent, thieving, vandalizing, foul-mouthed, and ungrateful little brats that filled Winterfield Elementary. In its youth, the school had suffered through a number of rat and cockroach infestations, but as far as Miss Hanson is concerned, disease vermin never fell. They just got bigger and learned to talk back. She was enthusiastic in the beginning, anxious to help young kids grow and develop. Now she's thankful that her husband divorced her so she could get pregnant. She never smiles at children, never speaks kindly to them, though it's no surprise when she frowns at little Zach Tobin as he pokes his head through the classroom door. Miss Hanson is a pretty woman of 25, but her eyes are cold and blue and can freeze children into the terror-stricken statues. For this particular boy, she had a very special, extra mean frown, where her eyes almost vanish into tiny blue slits, and her lines of her smooth face suddenly cut so deep that she ages another 50 years. Zach Tobin is confident that she hates him more than anything in the world. Miss Hanson is still reading to the class about Paul Revere. She stops in the middle of her sentence and snaps, "You've been gone for 15 minutes." Oh my gosh, I have French fry in the back of my throat, and it's so annoying. Alright. Zach opens his mouth to explain, but she doesn't let him. She tells him to sit down and stay in his seat after the bell rings. Yvette Lewis snickers. Timmy Morris whispers something to the boy next to him. All eyes are on Zach as he slinks down to the rightmost island seat directly in front of Miss Hanson's desk. She moved him there first day of school so she could keep a closer eye on him at all times. Last year, Miss Wright had told her about his enrollment in the gifted program, which means he isn't quite right on the head. Oh yeah, gifted program. He heard Miss Wright say so in the office once. Zach plops it into his seat and stares at the desktop with his hands on his lap. Miss Hanson has her students take turns reading from their history books out loud until the end of class. Everyone is out the door and down the hall before the bell even finished ringing. Everyone but Zach. Miss Hanson spends a few minutes organizing the children's papers like she always does at the end of the day. Zach knows that this because she's kept them after school roughly twice a week since the start of the school year, for drawing in class, not paying attention, talking to other kids, or asking questions she didn't like. When she finished the sighs, rubbed her eyes, then finally looked up from her work and leaned forwards with her hands together at the center of the desk. She doesn't speak for 5 long seconds. "Do you want to lose your bathroom privileges?" she says. Zach shakes his head. "No, ma'am. This is the second time you've abused them. Where exactly do you go when you say you need to go to the bathroom?" The bathroom. "And do you know that there's a bathroom right door? You walk all the way home and use your own." Zach's eyes fell back to his desktop. "You better answer me before I kick your butt up to the principal's office." The boy tries to make eye contact and fails. "I don't like the bathroom," he finally says. "You don't like it? What is that supposed to mean? Just where exactly do you relieve yourself then?" "I used the bathroom in Miss Wright's hall last time. Skip was cleaning it today, so I went to the one in the auditorium." Miss Hanson covers her face and sighs again. "Zach," she says in a soft tone, "you go in, you do your business, and you leave. You don't have to like anything about where you do it as long as you do it and stop disrupting my class." Zach looks up at Miss Hanson with eyes like a 5-year-old freshly waking from a nightmare. It's a look at the teacher is unprepared for her anger vanishes for a moment. "The noises scare me. I don't like going in there." "What noises?" I mean, what noises?" "On the wall, scratching and other stuff." Miss Hanson heard the stories about infestations of her student teaching days. She researched that period out of curiosity and found photographs that still made her shudder and remembers tiny armies of goosebumps crawl across Miss Hanson's skin. What kind of stuff?" she asked. Zach's face turns white like he's about to fade away before her eyes. He says nothing. Miss Hanson sighs. She leads him to the boys' bathroom up the hall and around the corner and goes inside. It's a regular public school bathroom. Two long white tile walls, a large multi-user sink, and a mirror along one. 4 urinals, which I think is there should be 5. That's just terrible. I mean, I'm gonna have to discount a few points from this creepypasta. And 2 cubicles along the others. 2. That's just this school has bathroom problems. People don't go to Winterfield Elementary. Richie Sawyer is standing at the nearest urinal. He looks over his shoulder, sees Miss Hanson, zips up and runs out the door with a wet spot in the front of his pants. The bathroom is empty now. Nothing looks or feels or smells out of place. It's quiet. I don't hear anything, Zach, Miss Hanson says. Zach says nothing. He refuses to stop beyond the arms reach the door. Where do you usually hear the noises? Miss Hanson. And now I'm going to sound older. Zach points to the furthest wall. A single tile is falling out of place, leaving a fist-sized square hole into the wall 2 feet up from the floor. Miss Hanson walks to the back of the bathroom, kneels down and peeks through the hole. It's pitch dark on the other side. Miss Hanson sends Zach home, tells the principal Sinclair about the hole, igniting one of his long-winded stories about the history of the building. Afterwards, she packs up her things, digs up a drawing out of her desk that Zach made during the lecture, instead of paying attention, and heads across campus to Miss Wiley before going home. An insistent request made by Miss and Miss Tobin, and they learn Miss Hanson had been throwing him out. She's quick about it, because she hates talking to the bubbly art teacher for more than a minute, especially about the drawing being delivered. He's a creative boy, Miss Wiley said once, and that imagination of his can get out of control. He needs a healthy artistic outlet. That's what our counselor told me, Miss Hanson replied, about a boy in my class who went into the office exposing himself at recess. Oh, Lord, that's so bad. He must have taken off his... I guess that means like taking off his clothes or something, but that's just wrong. Anyways, Miss Hanson glances down at the drawing instinctively as she drops it on the art teacher's desk. Nothing but a lattice of ugly black lines forming a series of white squares. One square right in the middle has been covered with 2 thick coats of black crayon. A yellow circle sits in the middle of the black square, only partly colored in. Only a child's scribbles fill Miss Hanson with pity, amusement when she can't figure out what she's looking at. Zach Tobin's drawings fill her with unease instead. Miss Hanson had a brief word with Miss Wiley, very brief, then goes home, grades her papers, fixes dinner for one, and reads until bedtime. She's grateful when the weekends come. He gets her grading out of the way on Saturday morning and spends the day in her garden, grooming the flowers and napping in the sun, because she's a lazy ass. One day, Zach goes to the 2 bathroom breaks during class and comes back within 3 minutes both times. Sanders relieved to see the boy has grown up enough to use the hall bathroom again. Even better, she's never has to scold him for anything all day and all night and all evening. And this isn't a creepypasta, but you know, I'm just kidding. Miss Hanson realized that he hasn't made eye contact with her all day. Even during lecture, he simply stares zombie-like at his desk. He recognizes the guilty look on his face and wonders if he's done something bad that she'd somehow missed. At second recess, Miss Hanson rummages through Zach. Second recess, Alex. They have 2 recesses.
Whoa.
That's just... I can't believe it. This is... Alright, never mind, guys. Go to the school. You have to go to it if you're in, like, 5th grade or something. Just leave your school and go to this one. Miss Hanson realized she hadn't... Oh, wait. At second recess, Miss Hanson rummages through Zach Tobin's desk for anything incriminating. His textbooks are all there, most of them dog-eared and carelessly crammed into the lower shelf. She wedges a comic book out between his history and reading books, only she told him twice before to leave at home, and tosses it on her desk. The upper shelf holds a battered box of worn-out crayons. A crumpled sheet of drawing paper had been jammed into the back, along with handfuls of other junk which Miss Hanson takes the library of cleaning out. She uncrumples the paper out of curiosity, finds another unfinished drawing on it. Something in the pit of her stomach squirms. Two figures scribbled in black and brown, a small and pathetic one, wide up with arms of a larger one. The latter is gang